oh, if you're drinking Gary, you're poor. But that's not even the case, because some people just genuinely just enjoy Gary.
So when I was growing up, there used to be this thing where we'll be like, me and my guys or my cousins, no matter how rich we will be, we'll never stop drinking Gary. But something happened recently. My friend OJ invited his guys and we went to his house. We dressed up. OJ wore suits. So he wore in his suit
to drink
to
Gary?
present Gary to us. So my people are very anal about how our food, like I'm from Akwa Ibom. And I've seen people do things with afang, and this is not even creativity. This is just normal cooking. And then we are known for aggressively attacking because it's like, no, this is not afang that you made again. This is not white. This is not afia ferry. This is not white soup you're doing. Whatever you're doing, please call it another name.
Just breathe there.
He has over 165,000 followers who watch him cook. He makes food that will make you pause your scroll, put down your phone, and go to the kitchen. And the first thing he said when he sat down today,
I am not a chef.
As hell. Ama Udofa, adventurer, food lover, cultural thinker, and apparently not a chef, is here to talk about why the food we grew up eating is now too expensive for us to afford, whose standard we're actually cooking for, and what it means to let Nigerian food be fully, proudly, and unapologetically Nigerian. My name is Kanyinsola Olukoya. This is the Spills and Through Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest finale of the year. Two culinary giants, one bottle of power oil, one title on the line, the Power Oil Certified MasterChef Challenge.
Oh, what a move! He slices past the peppers. Beautiful control. Look at that knife work. Because here, it's not just the cooking, it's the crowd behind you. And the fans are pouring in behind him. The votes are climbing.
Now that was the opening fixture. The real tournament, it's open to every kitchen in Nigeria. I think you can do better. Be your own master chef. Record yourself cooking with Power Oil. Upload your video, share your link, get votes. Cook your match. Rally your fans.
Climb the leaderboard. Scan now and enter the Power Oil Certified MasterChef Challenge.
Power Oil. Hey, so you are crying, but you're not even his girlfriend.
Is it time for questions? Can't you wait?
He must really like amebo.
Is this how you people start a show?
Everybody relax.
The Spills and Thrills show starts now. This episode is proudly sponsored by Power Oil.
All right, it's 1:24 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon in Lagos, and you are locked in with the Spills and Through Show on CT 1051 FM. Now, before we start today, I want to ask you a question. Think about a food you grew up eating, something that was just normal at the time. Just think about it. Maybe your mom used to make it every single day, and sometimes maybe you just even used to roll your eyes at the food. Now think about the last time you saw that same food on a menu somewhere and you almost fell off your chair, because what do you mean by amala that you can buy from your Reese's shop and you just spend maybe 2,000 naira max? You're seeing it at a restaurant. You're seeing it at how much now? Let me say 22,000 naira, please. How did we go from 2K spend on amala to 22,000 naira? I mean, if you can relate to this, then you can relate to everything we'll be talking about on the show today. But before we go further, today's episode of Spills and Thrills Show is proudly brought to you by Power Oil. Now, because we're going to spend the next 30 minutes talking about real Nigerian food, the kind that was cooked with intention, the kind that, your grandmother will stand over fire to make, the kind that carried the whole families and whole communities, right? And this real Nigerian food that we're talking about deserves real Nigerian oil. And of course, if you don't know, you should know that Power Oil is Nigeria's #1 cooking oil. Triple refined, no cholesterol, free of trans fat, because healthy doesn't mean that you sacrifice flavor. It simply means that you cook with something that respects the food and respects the people that are eating it. And right now, Power Oil is running the Certified MasterChef Challenge. Nigeria's biggest cooking challenge is live now. All you have to do is cook with Power Oil, Post your video, tag Power Oil, use the hashtag Certified MasterChef Challenge, and you could win up to 1 million naira. And of course, there is gym membership, oil supply, kitchen appliances, and so much to win, during this particular challenge. Now, if you know somebody that cooks, you don't need to be the best chef to, be on this challenge. All you need to do is like cooking and cook. And that's it. And you could win 1 million naira. I just said, let me, give you that. Now, today, my guest is a very, very special guest. He is a content creator, a cultural thinker, and, I just recently found out that he's a man who left a fine dining restaurant in Lagos hungry and had to buy bole and suya on his way home just to survive the evening. And I was just laughing like, God, I beg. This is the kind of person I want on the show today. His name is Ama Udofa. And this conversation is going to change, your perspective today. Now, Ama, welcome to the Spills and Through show.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God, Ama, I'm so excited to have you. You look like the celeb. I saw you on one TVC recently. I don't know. Are you the one? I think I can see the TVC here. Are you the one that is here? Is it you? Please. You're a celeb. It's an honor to sit beside you, Ama. And well done. The work that you put in, on social media, your videos are very engaging. I know that cooking itself is not easy. But I'm a woman, and when I want to cook, it's always dramatic. Not to talk of filming. It's a lot of work that you put in over and over again. And I just want to say that you're an inspiration to many people. People look up to you because of your consistency, the excellence that you put into your work. And I just want to say, well done. I pray that this will take you far and wide, even beyond Africa, by the grace of God. I went to Unilag and I would never bring food from the house. I never saw a reason to. I would always buy food, But this person would always bring food. But he was also ashamed, right? He couldn't afford buying food. But the food that he was bringing, homemade food, local dishes and all of that. But he would be ashamed and he would not eat it where, our other friends are. He would have to go elsewhere to go eat his food. So I want to ask you, I want to start the show by asking if this has ever happened to you before, and where do you think this shame is coming from?
So I would say it's happened to me because
Okay.
the last time I took food to school was probably primary school. Or even nursery school.
Primary school? You didn't take it secondary school at all?
Not really. Nobody did it. I think it was less about shame in retrospect.
Okay.
And more about the inconvenience of it, right? If you take food to school, certain kinds of food, especially the type of food we eat here, they kind of lose the freshness, they lose the texture. If you put noodles
That's everybody's nightmare.
That was the food I remember taking to school in nursery school, right? In primary school. Noodles, yam and eggs. And you leave them for a while in heat, they get soggy. They get like the yam gets soggy, the noodles stick together, and so you don't enjoy it. So I think for me, for my peers around that time, it was just really a hassle to take food to school, to pack food to school. But when I started working, my previous job, I used
what
to
did you
pack
used to do?
food to school, to work, to the office.
You had a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Ooh, what were you doing?
I still have a 9 to 5 right now, but
how do you merge everything together? Okay, let's not.
But that one, I was living in K2 that time, and I worked in Lekki. So two things. It was a money saving hack, but also things I like to eat. Like I still prefer homemade food. I think it's why I started making food content anyway. Because you order food and the rice is, I don't know, mass produced, right? It's very difficult to see food that's really good in fast food, and I can't afford offering from restaurants all the time, right? Like every day of the week. And then so it was just I do meal prep and then I pack it and I go to work and I just microwave it. It wasn't every day, but that was like 70% of the time. And the only reason I would take it to like the break room was so that, because again, you don't want the aroma to distract people, right? That's just it. It was never shame, like as long as, and I think there were a couple of other people that it wasn't very popular. But I've never felt shame about eating or eating habits, and I think that people who feel shame, I don't know if it's maybe a background thing. Maybe they're not proud of the food. Maybe the food does not have plenty meat. I think these are just personal insecurities, but I don't think anybody should be. It's unfortunate that your former classmates had to go through this. But also, it's possible that it was not that deep. It's possible that the person was just shy.
Was just shy,
right? It's also maybe the flavors were very strong. There's this thing, I have friends in Western countries where they can't take certain foods to work because you start to think about things like racism and how like certain cultures are perceived. Say Indian food, for example. Oh, it's too strong. Take it out of there if you're not bringing a sandwich. Because like a lot of sandwiches are not very spicy. They're not very aromatic. It's just bland chicken, cheese, and bread. So it's like you can eat it anywhere. And it's not messy. It doesn't have oil. And stains and all of that compared to say a biryani or a butter chicken. But again, that is like the US, that is like the UK.
Yes.
But here, we all eat pretty much the same flavor profiles, and I think it's more about inconvenience. Like if you're in a public bus, for example, or in a plane, you don't want somebody eating okra soup near you. So I think so. I don't think it's one specific thing. I think it's a couple or a bunch of different things tied together that maybe some people are more insecure than others. But I think the polite thing to do is if you take food to a place where there are a lot of people, you want to like excuse yourself and go so that you don't. Someone might feel hungry. You don't want someone to beg
you for food.
You don't want people that are sensitive to. It's kind of like perfumes. You don't wear strong perfumes to go to an enclosed room. Or an Imagine if I wore, say, an ombre nomad and came and sat next to you in this room, you would choke. So but yeah, I think there are different facets to this thing.
Different facets, but the experience that I had was shame because it was Gary.
That was
like why was she like taking Gary in front of
I also think it's
because they've also like made Gary like a very local food, like poor man food, not even local, like poor man. Oh, if you're drinking Gary, you're poor. But that's not even the case because some people just genuinely just enjoy Gary.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, there used to be this thing where we'll be like, no matter how rich me and my guys or my cousins, no matter how rich we'll be, we'll never stop drinking Gary. And yes, the Gary drinking has reduced because we no longer have to do that every time because at that point it was survival food, especially in university, secondary school. But something happened recently.
Okay.
My friend OJ invited his guys and we went to his house and we drank Gary. I also went to a
Did
friend's.
You know that you were going all the way?
Yes. We dressed up. OJ wore suits.
OJ has been on this show before.
So he wore his suit
to drink
to
Gary?
present Gary to us. So again, that's just like as an adult, you have free will. It was also nostalgia. I also went to one of my friend's house. So we had light issues in my house. And then I went to his house. And yeah, we ate a meal before we went to bed. But we woke up and this guy brought Gary and we drank with coconuts and honey and milk. So I think it depends on the context. So Gary, if offering Gary because you don't have anything else or you don't have much more options may have that element of shame because you want to do better.
Yes.
But there are days where as an adult
you're just
craving it, and that's fine as well. There's also some weird, I wouldn't say weird, but there are also some interesting places where you go and then there's like a Gary and fish on the thing on the menu. And I think it's people want things like that. People sometimes want to touch water, want to touch grass, want to, no matter how rich you get, you still want to eat things that you survived on growing up. So obviously you're not doing it now because you need to, but sometimes you just crave it.
To touch on that, are there foods that you used to eat while growing up that now it's not really available? I know that you're a chef and you can easily cook anything that you want, but
so I need to clarify that I'm not actually a chef.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just make food. I'm not.
So you will not. Oh wow.
Maybe when I retire, I can go get trained. But I just learn. I'm just a learner. I learn. I experiment a lot.
Okay, as somebody that cooks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so which food did you eat growing up, that triggers nostalgia for you now? You're like, I used to eat this growing up, but it's no longer available, Can you give us some of this?
Oh yeah, sure. There's akara and akamu Saturday mornings.
There's still akara now.
Yeah, but like it's not
Okay.
as accessible. So again, I grew up in the village, so it's like you walk out of your house, there are like a bunch of akara and akamu.
Sellers.
But yeah, you have to like actually go out of your way to find it. I even heard that people order akara and akamu
I promise you.
from like food delivery apps.
Yes.
As well. So
yes.
it's not that it's obviously more expensive.
It's more expensive, and
that time you could eat akara 20 naira, akamu 10 naira, milk 10 naira.
Exactly. Like
but
now in my area they're still selling akara for like 100 naira, right? But if you're going to order from outside, you're spending like 2k, 3k, 4k for akara.
Yeah.
Same akara.
I mean, so again, I think it's also the convenience of it, right? You're not going out. You're not.
But if you're just stepping out to buy this thing for God's sake.
But some people don't want to leave their houses, so
Okay.
it's the price of convenience, right?
Okay.
Some people want to have akara, but they do not want to go and get it on the roadside because they have maybe sanitary concerns, or they cannot sit there at a buka to eat. They want.
I get.
So at the end of the day, if you can afford it, sure. There's always there are different price points.
Okay.
There's an akara restaurant in Lekki.
A whole akara restaurant.
It was a whole thing on Twitter and TikTok recently. People went to review. I was like, why? If you think 22k, 40k is too much for it, simply don't go. It's willing buyer, willing seller in the market.
At the end 22k of the day, for akara.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you go and you eat it and you're disappointed, don't go again. If you go and you eat it and you like it, then sure. There are some people that they want to go there and feel, bougie, so to speak, and still have. They still want to have trenches food in air quotes, but in a setting that's more suited to their lifestyle. If they're used to air-conditioned rooms and they say, they don't want their makeup, or they don't want their perfumes, or they don't want their outfits to rub mud, sure, feel free. But I think what happens is we live in an age where there's something called conspicuous consumption.
Yeah.
So some people want to eat something, or they want to have an experience, but they want other people to see them having that experience. And so that is a completely different thing, right? People want to show that they could spend 30k on akara. So it's no longer authentic. It's no longer about the food.
And I think what you just said, just made me remember something I saw in your comment section. So there are people that, so people have been complaining about price hike. There's hike in prices for food, for certain foods that, was easily accessible to them, right? And I'm just going to read what this person said. The person said, the real problem isn't rich people discovering poor people's food. It's people who were once poor, got money, and came back to colonize the food they used to eat. Like, they now want to own it now on their own terms. Now, I just had to mention that because, we just touched on that briefly. And I think that's something that happens, when... I think so. They just want to relieve that experience, maybe nostalgia. I used to eat akara before, but because of maybe hygienic concerns now, or because they cannot go to the local woman that is outside, with their heels and all of that anymore. So rather just order for it. I just wanted to touch on that. All right. So I was going to now ask you, all right. You said something that I've not really stopped thinking about. You were like, Nigerian food. Well, you were the one that said it. You were like, Nigerian food was never meant to be delicate. I wrote it exactly the way you said it. Was never meant to be delicate. These recipes were built to carry our bodies through hard work. So when someone takes that food and calls it deconstructed amala,
I think that there's a fine line between food as an artistic expression versus just doing things for doing sake. And especially trying to plate like somebody that went to a French culinary school as somebody who grew up your entire life in Lagos. I think there's a certain inauthenticity that you can sense, especially when you see those videos. I would even call them rage bait, because at this point you're not trying to get me angry. I've seen some really nasty things, but I've also seen some really creative ones, really nice, experiences. Tasted some, I was like, I wish I could do this. Yeah. So, but I think that doing there has to be a breadth of experience. There has to be somebody who also respects the culture.
Yes.
Of somebody who has never been, say, to the north, right, or northern Nigeria,
Yes.
goes, picks ingredients from there and just starts doing, like, you can tell, like, usually it's actually people from that would actually push back, you know. Someone like, my people are very anal about how our food, like, I'm from Akwa Ibom, and I've seen people do things with afang, and the entire, and not even, this is not even creativity, this is just normal cooking, and then we are known for aggressively attacking, because like, no, this is not afang that you made again. This is not white, this is not afiafere, this is not white soup you're doing. Whatever you're doing, please call it another name.
This is afang. I see you, this generation of chef, you want to kill us. You put big onions in afang, you'll be arrested. You blend afang, you'll be arrested. You put ginger in afang, you'll be arrested. Some people even put tomato, you'll be arrested. All of you. I've spoken with the Ministry of Tourism, Akwa Ibom and Cross River State. We will arrest you. This new generation of chef, you want to spoil a legacy. It is a movement. It's a religion. This is afang. This is heritage. This is cultural identity. This is how afang should be. Are you seeing fresh? My bestie made this, by the way. I have to help our business. That's what the boy child does. We help. Blue canopy. This is how afang should be.
And because food is the best way to know a people is to know their
food.
The best way to know a culture. Food, how people eat during wars. A lot of, like, ramen, for example, like stockfish. Those things, people evolved with this in terms of scarcity. The way Chinese food tastes in Nigeria, it's likely not the same way it tastes in US. It's likely not the same way. If you take Nigerian Chinese food and give to a Chinese person, you'll be like, what the hell are you doing?
This?
You know, because when food travels, people have to adapt it. But also the people who, in quotes, invent a food, sometimes it's due to scarcity. If, for example, sushi, I think it was a way of preserving fish. And then, you know, it became a staple. Ramen, I think ramen was during World War II or something. I have to go and check for reference to double check. But like stockfish, the way the Easterners in Nigeria started eating it, there's been conversations about how it was because there was no food during the war, the Civil War. You know, so there are a lot of the way food shapes people's cultures, food shapes people's behaviors. So if somebody, especially an outsider, goes to, there was this thing with Jamie Oliver. The reason why Asians constantly flame him on the internet is because he makes Asian food, but there's nothing Asian about it. Like, he just throws things in a pot, making it more accessible to Westerners.
Okay.
And there's an entire
process
conversation about subtle racism or like just changing food because you can. So if somebody, an outsider, comes and misinterprets an indigenous food, from the people from that place will react. So if you see a Yoruba person arguing that, why are you doing amala? I think the more important thing is, instead of saying, oh, I have the right to do whatever I want with food, I think you should pause and think, why is this person attacking what you're doing with your food? Yes, nobody specifically owns food, but food is identity, food is culture, food is sustenance, food is how people live through the world. You know, so it's a touchy subject. But yeah, at the end of the day, we are all in this together. So I think the long and short of my shalaye is, if you're going to do something with food, just like you're going to do something, another aspect, maybe dressing, maybe fashion. Because if you go to a fashion show, you're not going to see somebody wearing shirts and shorts. You want to see what they're doing with local material. Right? There's also, like, food is so cultural that there are specific requirements about what can be called what. If you start to think of things like bourbon, right? Bourbon whiskey, it has to be, I think, 50%. I can't remember the grain. I can't remember. I think it's 51%, and it must be bottled in the United States. Tequila has to be made from the blue agave plant in Mexico, right? For it to be called tequila. Champagnes, a lot of people call every sparkling wine champagne. But champagnes have to be made in a specific, very restrictive, very controlled process in the Champagne region of France. So if
Before
you
it
see
can be
somebody
called
calling,
champagne.
if you see someone calling just any sparkling wine champagne,
You know that person
you know
doesn't
that
know.
like they don't know. Like the actual legal protections. So like people are very proud of their food, are
Yes.
proud of the processes. I think there's a double fermentation or double filtration process in champagne. I can't remember specifically. I might be wrong, but like it's a very controlled, there's a way there's a way Japanese alcohol is made, soju for example. It's a very specific process. You can't just take that, add something else and still call it the same thing, right? So, and I deviated a bit, sorry.
Yes.
But like I'm just trying to drive home the point that people are very protective about their food for good reason, because it's the food that they found, whether for survival, it's the food that they found. It has gone through ages, decades, centuries of refinement of jigget. So when you take something out of a culture and you convert it into something that is not recognizable just for the sake of it, people are right to feel insulted. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That was very extensive, and thank you for breaking it down the way you have. And I hope that more people will understand why, people get triggered when they see some of the things that they do online. And you're right about afang. I hope I pronounced it properly. See, the way they will drag you. If you don't know how to make afang, don't just even post it online, because they will come.
Yeah,
they'll come at
something
you.
as simple about as putting onions in afang. It costs so much. It's like the people that make this food know why. For example, the onions in afang thing. Onions is sweet. When you get
so it
onions
alters the taste.
Yeah, the texture, it makes it spoil quicker. So the specific reasons why specific techniques are used locally. So when you say you can do whatever you want with food, I don't think you can do whatever with food you want with food. If I take sushi, if I'm trying to make sushi and I add butter to sushi and I put it, so another thing, you can do it in your kitchen, but when you present it as something you want to show the world, people will react. People will definitely react. And would like to say thank you so much for clearing the air and trying your best, because I saw how careful you were trying to be so they don't drag you. I saw how careful you were, but then you still drove home the point. I'd like to say thank you. And we have a segment on the show that is called Take It or Risk It. You're supposed to choose a number from 1 to 10 so that you can win everything here or win nothing at all. Do I have to win? I'm already like an ambassador.
I know that you are. Just try. Just pick a number from 1 to 10.
7 is a lucky number, right?
Yes.
I'll take 7.
You take 7. All right. Mention 3 Nigerian foods you can cook using palm oil.
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice?
You should have said I'm not allowed to say jollof rice.
Jollof rice? That's fine.
Fried rice.
Fried rice?
Fried chicken.
Azal, no. The time is going. Omelette.
Eggs.
That's cheating. All right, so you just want
akara.
You just want a bottle of palm oil. So do you want to take it
Not
or do you want to risk it? No, you take a bottle. Then if you get the next question, then you get another bottle. But if you don't get it, you're going to return our palm oil. Risk it. Okay, you want to risk it. Pick another number from 1 to 10. 7 is out. 3. Very simple. Palm oil is currently sponsoring one of the biggest culinary shows.
Give me my palm oil.
Do you want to take it or risk it?
Let me ask.
Do you want to take it or risk it?
Take it. I should take it.
You take it.
Okay, I'm taking it.
You're taking it. I don't want to risk it.
If the crowd says I should take it. But I can risk it. I know I will answer all the questions. You know I will.
I know you will.
Let me keep some for you.
Thank you. All right, on behalf of palm oil, we'd like to say thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, thank you so much. This is on behalf of palm oil. Thank you, Ama.
I already have these.
Give me back. Give me back.
No, take it.
No, give me back.
You already gave me.
All right, we'd like to say thank you to our superstar guest, Ama. Thank you, Ama, for coming on the show. Or to the great things you do in the food industry. And if you ever leave your 9 to 5 fully and focus on the food industry. All right, where can we find you on social media?
On Instagram.
Yes.
Twitter. I'm everywhere at this point.
All right. At Ama underscore at amazing Ama.
No, at the underscore amazing Ama.
At the underscore amazing Ama. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the show. My name is Kanyinsola Olukoya, the global media girl, and this has been the Spills and Through Show on City 1051 FM. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts at Spills and Through Show. And of course, this particular episode will be out on this Thursday. So tell a friend to tell another friend to subscribe to our YouTube channel because this episode will be live. All right, thank you so much for listening. Ama, let's tell them bye.
Bye.
Let's do it together. In 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Bye. All right, and I'll see you next week, Saturday, for the next episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest finale of the year. Two culinary giants, one bottle of power oil, one title on the line. The Power Oil Certified MasterChef Challenge.
Oh, what a move! He slices past the peppers. Beautiful control. Look at that knife work. Because here, it's not just the cooking, it's the crowd behind you. And the fans are pouring in behind him. The votes are climbing.
Now that was the opening fixture. The real tournament, it's open to every kitchen in Nigeria. I think you can do better. Be your own master chef. Record yourself cooking with Power Oil. Upload your video, share your link, get votes.
Cook your match.
Rally your fans.
Climb the leaderboard. Scan now and enter the Power Oil Certified MasterChef Challenge.
Power oil, hey, power oil.